Alright, welcome back to the tutorial. So we did a lot of talking in the previous tutorial, and I never want to do back-to-back talking things if I can avoid it. So let's do some doing in this one, and let's start setting up our enemy NPCs, more specifically our goon NPCs. And this is how we're going to do that. Okay, let's go. I'm in load game right now, and I want to create a new group here. Sorry, let me do this. New grouping, and I want to call this enemy NPCs. And I'm going to add another, I'm going to add two groupings actually that are going to be underneath this. So let me go ahead and add the two groupings. I'm going to put it underneath here. And this one we're going to call goons and named NPCs. This is how we're going to keep track of all of this. Alright, so let's go ahead and add a new sub-event below goons here. And we've got some variables we need to create. These are going to be global variables. And we're going to, I'll explain it in a second. So we're going to have variable goons.posx, and we're going to set that equal to 0 right now. Let's set that, let's equal 0. There we go. And let's copy and paste. And let's make that position Y. And of course this is going to hold the positioning of our goons here. And the reason why we're making this in our load game is because we're going to have values passed to these variables, I should say, within scenes. So every scene is going to have a different placement for goons that we're going to sort of map out a little bit. And we're going to want to pass those variables from the scenes into our global ones here so that we can create the goon via an external event. Alright, so we've got position Y, position X. Let's go ahead and copy and paste again, and let's create another variable here. We're going to call this one goons.damage. And let's copy and paste and make another one called health. That's going to give us an option to create a multi-hit goons, as we talked about in the last tutorial. Let's paste again. I'm going to add a variable for dialogue, which we may or may not use for our goons. And paste and create, use a goons.create so that we can trigger the creation of a goon. And I'm actually going to create another one that's called battle so that we can trigger the fact that we are in a battle with a goon. Okay? We might add more to this, and it might be that for some of these we don't use. That's okay. This is giving us the option to grow the game a little bit in the end. Alright, so we've got these here. Now I want to create a couple of external events. First one is going to be goon create, and the next one is going to be goon battle. Alright, so let's add these. We're going to associate them with the basic kingdom room. And I'll go ahead and I'll create a new grouping here. Where'd you go? There it is. I'm going to move this up so you can see it more easily. And I'm going to call this grouping enemy NPCs, and we can copy this grouping and move it around as needed for various scenes. And I'm going to do similarly to what we did in our load game. I'm going to add 2 groupings to this, because I know I'm going to have named and goons and whatnot NPCs. So goons and named NPCs. And this is going to be modified based on whatever scene or screen we're in, okay? So this one that we've created right here is going to be unique to Basic Kingdom Room, basically. Oh, what did I do? I'm sorry, I messed this up. I apologize. Oh no, I didn't. Sorry. Sorry again. I want to add an external event here. This is not, let me restate this, sorry. This can sometimes be confusing to say over and over again. Let me just link this first. And then I'll go ahead and I'll restate what I very clumsily stated. That's what I get for trying to chew gum and program, I guess. I apologize. Since these are external events, these are not going to be unique to the scenes, actually. We're going to create another grouping for dealing with and actually mapping out where enemy NPCs are created. We'll create a new grouping for that for each scene. This one is just for when we want to include the ability to create a goon and have goon battles, right? So that can be easily copied and pasted into various scenes. So I apologize for that confusion here. All right, so we've got our 2 external events linked. We only have one so far up here. Let's create a new event for it and add a condition. And since this is our goon create external event, we of course want to have a way in and a way out. Our way in is going to be our variable that we created, which is goons.create. When that's equal to 1, we're going to create a goon. Let's add a sub-event, and let's have our way out, which is goons.create equals 0. Okay, let's add another sub-event, move it up, here we go. And now we need to actually create a goon in here. Let's add our goon object. So sprite. Now, I'm only going to have one goon, the way it looks, whether it's multi-hit or not. And it's going to be basically a red version of Bob and the other townsfolk. So I can just call this one a goon, and then have the multiple animations here by name. So I can say goon 1 is going to be, actually I should say it's goon 0. Goon 0 animation is going to be, excuse me, red main. I'm going to add another one. Goon 1 animation is going to be with the eyes closed. Okay, and the last one is going to be Goon 2, and that's going to be eyes open. All right, I'm going to hit apply, and And I'm absolutely going to make this global because these guys are going to show up all over the place.